Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it is a new day, a bright day, a Sunday that the Lord has made that we should all rejoice and be glad in it. You don't like this day, which other day would you prefer? Today is yet another episode of health issues. Sorry, my background is not giving you the right description of what we are doing. I'm very, very sorry. This afternoon, we have an important topic to be discussed. And I have an important personality to discuss with you. Him. You don't like this day, which other day would you prefer? This afternoon topic is the retinal detachment of the eye. Today, at the end of the day, we will get to understand what a retinal detachment is, the causes, signs, and symptoms, and the diagnostic test that needs to be conducted in order for the diagnosis to be made or decided by the doctor, and then the measures that we can put in place to prevent AIDS. We have to know that the eye is very, very important. So if you can see, you have to count yourself a blessed. The reason is those that are really or that have lost their sight is very difficult. It changes your life. Therefore, though the eye seems very tiny, or the eyes, they seem very tiny, but the job that it does is very, very, very important and crucial. So take good care of your eyes, and you can live to see things longer than what is expected. This afternoon, I have with me my own brother Adesu. Mr. Ade, you're welcome once again to Richmond Media.
Thank you.
To our viewers and listeners, we say you are all welcome to Richmond Media this afternoon and make your contribution count. Therefore, just comment and then we will respond. We will acknowledge you and recognize you because both of us are doing the job. Not only us here at the studio, but you joining us makes it more enjoyable and very important as well. Brother George, whoever is coming, whoever has got the link, please don't forget to share. Let your brothers and your sisters also get the benefits that we are discussing here this afternoon. And don't forget to click on the notification button so that everything discussed on this platform, you will be able to be notified. And also share the link for others, your friends, and families to join this afternoon as we continue the journey. Mr. Soro, could you please give us the overview of the eye and how the detachment also? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. This afternoon, I'm so glad to share with you some of the things that you can do to prevent some conditions that occur in the eye, how we're able to manage it. The background music, I like it. It was saying there are so many killing illness who have been affecting us, and the ultimate healer is the God. So this afternoon, I want to encourage each and everyone who will be facing any difficulties in here in seeing that you shouldn't make it as that is the end of her or his life, but we should also trust in the Lord in everything will be fine. This afternoon, I wanted to discuss something about retinal detachment. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to know what the retina and its detachment. When you talk about the retina, we are saying that the retina is a light sensitivity membrane located in the back of the eye. When light passes through the eye, it passes through some stages from the cornea to the lens, to the pupil, to the vitreous, to the back, or to the retina. So the light passes through all these structures onto the retina, and then before it can also move on from there to another stage. So before you be able to see, or before you be able to identify an object at a distance, it has to pass through this process. So from the cornea, it moves all the way onto the lens or the pupil, passing through the pupil to the lens, through the vitreous onto the retina. And once it gets to the retina converts images into signal or electrical impulses. of which is being sent onto the brain through the optic nerve for interpretation of vision. So this is how it looks like. When the light passes through this structure, when it gets to the retina, because now the light or the image has to be converted. So the retina does that conversion. So it's being converted into neurons or electrical impulses or like electricity, the current that passes through the light. So these impulses allow or passes through the optic, then it moves all the way to the brain, the part which is responsible for vision. So when you get there, the brain interprets it as image for us to see well. So the retinal work doesn't work alone. It works in conjunction with the cornea, the lens, the vitreous, and the pupil. So through that, you'll be able to produce a normal vision or be able to see at a distance. But people with retinal detachment, that is where they will have a problem. And because of the problem they are having, they are not able to see at the distance that they are supposed to see. So this is what happened. Now you've got to know that the retina is part of or is one of the structures in the eye which help to see at a distance or which help convert nerve impulses, uh, image into neural impulses for it to be converted to the brain for interpretation of vision. But with the retinal detachment or those who have the detachment of the retina, when you look at the back or at the retina, it has some layers. You have the coral, you have the retina, and others. So people with the detachment, it results as a result of separation of the sensory ligament or the sensory layers of the retina, combining the rod and cones from the pigmented epithelial layer beneath it. So this is how it looks like. It's just like the skin and then the bone. And then the skin has now been eroded or has now been raised or has now been taken off. So you now see the bone. That's how the retina also look like. So you have the retina and you have the sensory layers, or you have the pigmented epithelial layer beneath it. But because of some activities or because of something, the retina has been separated from the sensory layers. So it has given some space between it. And the sensory layers and the retina supposed not be separate, supposed to be together because the sensory layers provide oxygen, nutrients, and other stuff to the retina. So it enriches the retina for retina to perform its activities well. But people with the retinal detachment, because of the separation, the sensory layers or the beneath layers or the structures are not able to get the needed oxygen and the nutrients for its activities. So in the long run, it will cause some decrease of vision. So what happens is it may occur spontaneously. Some it occurs spontaneously because of the degeneration changes in the retina. So it could be from some changes or some as a result of something which is occurring on the retina, which has caused the changes to occur. In some cases, it can also be from disease condition like the diabetic retinopathy or vitreous humor. It can also be from it. So in diabetes, if your sugar level is so high, and now the sugar level, because of its high, it has affected the vision, or it has gone to the extent of affecting the eye. It will cause the retina, it can cause the retina to separate from the structure because of the diabetic retinopathy. Also, some people may get vitreous humor. It can also be from it. Something could be from trauma. The trauma could be from maybe accident, could be from maybe blow on your eye, could be from maybe something which has hit on the eye, very severe one. So those ones too can also cause this retinal detachment that we are talking about. Some too can be from inflammatory conditions or inflammation, which is occurring on the eye. Any inflammatory disorders that can occur on the eye can also be or can also lead to that retinal detachment we're talking about. Some too can be from tumor, whether brain tumor or tumor on the eye, whatever. Any tumor that occur can also be from it. And some too can also be for as a result of surgeries. Example, cataract surgery, or maybe some maybe retina or some other uh, surgery that we do for the eye. Example, it may be some may do maybe laser treatment. So this thing that or this surgery that is being done can also affect the vision. Mostly When you look at the retinal detachment, it mostly occurs at the age of 50 years and above, mostly. But because of other factors like the inflammation, tumor, or cataract, now it's no more like 50 years and above. It can occur at any age. It could be for maybe 20 years because of as a result of trauma. It will also be even juvenile diabetes. If it's not well treated, it can lead to diabetic retinopathy, and that can also be from it. Maybe yes, so you are young, but you can get it. And untreated retinal detachment result in loss of the portion or some part of visual field. When I say visual field, some part of vision that you are able to see. So if the retinal detachment is left untreated, it can cause vision loss, either partial or total. And then the retinal detachment depends on the period that it has been detached from the eight sensory layers. If like just a short period, the possibility of recovering the vision back is high. But if the detachment has occurred for a very long period, then your response or your ability for you to see well might be affected. It might lead to vision loss because of a long period. So when we talk about retinal detachment, this is what I can talk about this.
Thank you so much. You've given us the uh, given us the courses already. So, what other signs and symptoms that one can notice in order to
Okay.
prompt that person to see the doctor?
All right. Before we move on to the process, let me chip in this. The one I was just talking about are not specifically the causes, but it could be a cause. But mostly from research, it has shown that you don't have specific cause as of now, but there are some other factors that we do that can lead to the retinal detachment, and these are some of them that I just mentioned about. And we also have some risk factors before we go to the signs and symptoms. We have some risk factors. Some of these risk factors I made mention about aging. So as we said earlier, mostly it occurs at 50 and above. So mostly that is what it normally occurs. But because of the tumor, or trauma, it doesn't mean that always at 50. 10, 15, 20, 25, you can get it. If you are being exposed to this trauma or maybe tumor or maybe you had a cataract and you have been operated, you are also at risk of getting it. Some of these factors that we are talking about doesn't mean that if you get it or you get one or two of them, it means that you're going to get retinal detachment. We need to do diagnostic tests and other things to confirm it. It might be that it's not from it. Another risk factors is previous retinal detachment in one eye. So if you have gotten any previous detachment in one eye, you are at risk of getting it. Something could be from family history of retinal detachment. Maybe your uncle, your niece, your nephew, or any of your relatives has been affected by this retinal detachment. You are also at risk of also getting it. Or it gives us a clue on how you can manage it. Something could be from nearsightedness, that is myopia. Some people have been using spectacles so that they can see objects near them. So those people too are also at risk of getting it. It doesn't mean that if you are using spectacle, you will get it, please. You are at risk. You might get it or you might not get it. I remember I told the client about this, and the next question was, so it means I'm also getting it. And I asked him, am I not wearing spectacles? I said, yes. So does it mean that I also have it? He said no. Then I told him that then it means that you are at risk. So you could get it, or it means that you might not even get it. Other two can be for previous surgery, as we said earlier, like cataract removal and others. You are also at risk of getting it. And then injuries, maybe it could be of maybe a trauma, accident, and other stuff. Some too could also be from previous eye diseases, like the uveitis. It's one of the conditions that affect the eye. Untreated uveitis can also be, and sometimes as a result of thinning of the peripheral retina. So the retina has been thinning or has been reducing in size. or it could also be from lattice degeneration. All these things are some of the conditions that makes you or predispose you to be at risk of getting retinal detachment. Now, the retinal detachment may occur depending on the type that it occurs. We have types. It could be that yours as a result of this. So in that case, during the course of management, we base on that. Some of them, it could be that the retinal detachment occurred as a result of maybe there have been a tear or there have been a hole on the retina. So it allows fluid to accumulate, to pass through that small hole or through the tear to accumulate beneath the retina and causing the inflammation to occur. So as we said earlier that it could be from inflammatory disorders. So maybe yours, there was a tear in the retina, and because of the tear, there has been a hole. So fluids are able to pass through it and go and settle beneath the retina, and that will bring about the inflammation. Some too, as a result of traction, like a scar. When you get a scar and then it heals on your skin, you see how it looks like. It looks like it is pulling the skin. That is also happening on the retina. Some may get retinal scar, and after the scar has occurred, it starts to pull the retina. So as a result of pulling the retina, it can cause the detachment to also occur. Some too can also be as a result of fluid accumulation beneath the retina, and that one could be from any cause. It could be that it has been a tear or there has been a hole that is allowing the fluid to go beneath it. So this all these types we are talking about will make us know which of them is the cause. If it's a result of the traction, you know the type or the management that you can give to help the client. If it's a result of exudates, fluid accumulating, you will know the type that you need the treatment or the kind of treatment that you might give to the client. So now you know the causes. So we know the predisposing factors. So what are some of the clinical features that might manifest for somebody to know that it's as a result of retinal detachment? Please, the signs and symptoms we are going to talk about is not always consistent or it's not always fixed. That if you have any of these signs, it means that you've gotten retinal detachment. No, these signs could be from other factors or sorry, other conditions, whether cataract, whether optic atrophy, maculopathy, or macular scar, or maybe as a result of uveitis. There are so many conditions that occurs on the eye, and some of these conditions manifest the signs and symptoms of what you're just about to mention. So one, sudden appearance of many floaters. So when you say floaters, you see something like something like it's moving through the eye. You see some flares, some images, or something like moving through your vision. So when you look at a distance, you can see that something is moving through your vision. That's the floaters we are talking about. So those floaters breaks through the field of vision. So it impedes or reduces the vision for you. Some also get flashes of light in the affected eye, that is photopsia. So in this photopsia, you see like somebody has thrown a light or the light has flashed on the eye. So that's how you feel it. You feel something like some light has flashed or some light has passes through the eye and goes or on and off light on the eye. So these are the flashes of light. Some also get blurred vision. As I said earlier, that the retina can detach. So when it's detached, it makes the image that has not supposed to be converted into neurons or electrical impulses to be sent to the brain be affected. So in this case, the image are not able to be converted well, and then they are not able to move onto the brain for interpretation of vision. So in that case, it causes the vision to be blurred. Some too can get gradual reduction of peripheral vision. So at the peripheries or at the temporal part of the person cannot see objects at the temporal part unless the image is in front of the person. So that is the peripheral vision. So at the temporal part of the eye, both eyes, you find it difficult to see objects unless it is a little bit central or close to central vision that you're able to see an object. Some too also get curtain-like shape or you can see something like a curtain-like shadow on the vision. So that one to also impede, or that one also give a symptom or a clue that you are at risk or you have gotten retinal detachment, and then you need to be attended to. These are some of the signs and symptoms that may manifest. There are more, but these ones are very common ones that you normally see in retinal detachment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adesuro, for giving us this in-depth explanation of what retinal detachment is, the causes, risk factors, and the clinical features that we can identify to know that something like that is happening to us. At this moment, I would like us to acknowledge our own brother. Brother George Akon says, good afternoon to the team. Nice topic. Thank you so much for joining us from where you are at the moment. May God continue to bless you and everyone watching us this afternoon. Please, you can say hello, hi to us, or if you have any question, the floor is open to you. You can just type it under the comment section and we'll be able to answer you. If we don't get it in time, definitely we will come back to it some other time. Brother, so now that we know all these things contributing to retinal detachment, how can it be diagnosed at all?
Thank you. And diagnostic tests that we can do to diagnose somebody who has retinal detachment. One, you have to do a full history taking. So the patient, you have to examine or ask the patient what's the complaints, the how long has he been experiencing this. Um, then ask some direct questions about how he feel about his vision. And then you ask, is there any family history? Because you make mention that you have to find out if the patient has any family history of diabetes or any history of maybe retinal detachment. So this person has to know the family history and the patient if he has gotten any of this uh, the, detachment before in any of the eyes, be it from the left or the right eye. So this history taking will help us to serve as a baseline for management. Then you have to do physical examination. And then in the physical examination, you examine the eye. You check to see if the cornea is in at the right position. Is there any deviation in the iris, the pupil, the lens? You check the lens. So you also continue to do ophthalmoscopy or use the slit lamp for full dilatation to see the retina or to see if the retina is in mostly the retina can be in a gray or in opaque shape. So you want to detect how the retina look like. And then the retina, is it normally transparent or is it have been moved from its shape or its original side to another side, or has it been changed? So you do this ophthalmoscopy to examine it, and they use the slit lamp also to do it. Some facilities they also do ultrasound imaging, so the patient can go and take the scan. So it will help us to know if when there's any bleeding has occurred, making it difficult to see the retina. Use the ultrasound imaging to see. So the ultrasound imaging will clear or make the retina to be clear for us to see has it been any detached or has it moved from its original position to another position. So these are some of the diagnostic tests we normally do to investigate what is happening to the eye. In this diagnostic test, mostly we cannot use your own eyes to see some of these diagnostic tests unless you use some of the machines that we have for this person. But you do the physical examination and then you do this scan examination to support what you are seeing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. We have another comment from our Awua Hene. I think that is your wife, yeah? Mr. Jampoma say, good afternoon, watching you live from Tachima. Thank you so much, Mrs. Soro, for joining us this afternoon and for giving us the opportunity to have your husband at this moment. God bless you as we continue. our journey. At this moment, now that what are the preventive measures that we can put in place for retinal detachment, please?
Thank you. So when you look at retinal detachment, mostly it's surgical treatment. So mostly we do surgical treatment. But in the preventive part, um, we don't have any preventive or specific preventive measures that can be done to prevent the retina from being detached. But in one way or the other, we can say that wearing protective eyewear will help to prevent the occurrence or reduce the severity of the retina being detached from its original position. Example, when you look at the predisposing factors, you made mention about injuries or trauma. So if you're using this protective lens, it will reduce the trauma, assuming you had an accident or maybe something severe hit the eyeball. Because of the eye shield or because of the spectacle, it will reduce its severity on the eye. So it must not even cause the retina to be detached from it. Another one, we can also control our blood sugar in cases of diabetes. If your sugar level goes high, it exceeds the threshold, and then as a result, it also affects the eye, causing retinopathy to occur in the eye. So why don't you control your sugar level now? Once the sugar level now is being controlled, the its effect of affecting the eye, which will finally or consequently can lead to the retina being detached, will not occur. So you need to control your sugar level so that it doesn't go to that extent of causing detachment in the retina. And then we need to continuously go for checkup. There are some times people will be experiencing maybe some floaters on the eye or flash of light on the eye, and then they'll think it's normal. So they'll stay home without going for checkup. It could be that, as we say, it's a signal. It is signaling you that something is happening on the retina. Not always the retina. It could be from other conditions. But because today we are talking about retinal detachment, so it may be signal you on the retina that something is occurring there. So once you come and then you check, and then you find out that yes, it's the retinal detachment which has started, then immediately you go for intervention and then you resolve it, and then there wouldn't be any further damage occurring on the retina. But some may sit down and then unconcerned, waiting for I don't know. So by the time they'll come, they wouldn't be able to do anything that can help to control it. And some too, when you go to typical bleach, that's where you normally see children or people may be getting some inflammation in the eye. Then you can see that the eye is bulging or becoming bigger on one eye, and then it's bulging out, and then they start applying herbal medication on the eye. Then they'll be giving them to it that is this, is that, it will go. By the time you realize it has gotten to the stage that you cannot do anything about it. And as one of the risk factors, we talk about tumor. So this tumor or inflammation, which is pushing the eye forward or making the eyeball to be bigger on that particular eye, is occurring. It is also causing the detachment to also occur. So you have to see your prescriber frequently or your doctor frequently or for examination, frequent examination check so that we're able to know what is really happening and then help to prevent its occurrences. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, brother, for giving us all this that contribute to um, retinal detachment and how we can prevent ourselves by taking care of our eyes. Is there any measures that particularly the WHO has put in place that will help us to understand it more, please? Thank you.
Thank you. As I said, I made mention about surgical intervention. So some people think that, okay, if I go and do the surgery, people say that my eyes will go off and it wouldn't come back again. Please, the only treatment for retinal detachment now is to do the surgical intervention to correct it because now the retina has separated from its original space. So we need to push the retina back to go to its original space, original position. And the only means is through the surgical intervention. So you need to see your doctor or your ophthalmologist for this surgical intervention to be done for you. And then mostly we normally encourage that after this surgical intervention, you need to always visit your doctor frequently for medication. And then you need to appeal to the treatment. Some take the treatment and then they'll stop, and it wouldn't help you. And then you need patient or the client needs to be advised to avoid rapid eye movement after the surgery because now your eyes have been being operated. So this is one of the things that you have to observe or do it after the surgery. So after the surgery, you need to avoid moving the eyeball or moving it up and down. You need to make it always to relax so that it will prevent further detachment occurring. So some hospital or some facilities, they'll give you some weeks or maybe months for you to always avoid trainers or bending of the hair below your waist. All these interventions are being done to reduce its severity. I forgot this. If the retinal detachment has occurred at the initial stage, we need to always patch that particular eye so that you reduce the movement and then reduce the straining that might come on it because the more you are straining it, the more you are causing the detachment. So maybe you went to some small facility and then they got to know that it's retinal detachment. You have now been referred to a bigger facility or a teaching hospital for surgery to be done. They need to patch the eye. They need to make sure that you don't strain that eye until the time the surgery will be done for you. Some facilities you'll be booked, and then the date is not yet for the surgery to be done. They need to advise you on some of these measures. Avoid bending of the head, avoid watching television for long period, avoid straining the eye, that particular eye. All these measures are being done so that we reduce the straining that you might put on the eye. Because the more you strain the eye, the more it causes the detachment to occur. So, as I said, we restrict the patient from driving until ophthalmologist or until your doctor has informed you that you can drive after the surgery. The patient needs to be taught to recognize how immediately to report for signs and symptoms of and that might reoccur after the detachment has been done or after the repair. Maybe like floaters or some spot on the vision, flash of light, or progressive shadow on the eye. All these things are being given to the patient or advice. All these advice are being given to the patient so that as he goes home, if you see any of these signals, you have to report back to the facility for us to find out. It could be that the detachment has reoccurred again or another thing is happening. And then you need to always adhere to the appointment date that you have been given. Some of them, they do the detachment repair and the vision has now been restored back. And as they go home, they feel like it's fine. So you wouldn't come back for follow up. That one, it won't help you. So you need to do frequent follow up so that you always check to see if the healing is taking place and there isn't any signal or anything that will may be a risk for its occurrence. If you're able to follow all these protocols, it is going to help you to restore the vision back to normal. And as I said, early detection, early treatment. If you see it early, you will save the sight. But if it's not being seen early and late detection, I'm sorry, where the damage has gotten to, you will be able to restore the vision to as it was at first. The vision will be like as it has gotten to. So if you see it early or you report early, you'll be able to restore the vision back to its normal position. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother, for giving us your thoughts about retinal detachment. Brother George Akon continued to say, enjoying the presentation from both origin, like how I enjoyed yesterday's choral concert at Kumasi. Thank you, Mr. Soro. I don't know if you were there with Brother George, but some of us were watching it from afar, and it was really, really enjoyable. So we also had our share from what Brother George also, but it wouldn't be like you are there yourself experiencing what God can do through choral songs. At this moment, I would like to say thank you to everyone who has made it possible to join us this afternoon on this platform discussing retinal detachment of the eye. Brother George, brother Addai, have you got anything at all that you want to add to what you have given us already so that we can bring the program to an end? Thank you.
Thank you. The little I'll add to it is let's also check about our nutritional diet. As we are talking about retinal detachment, we need to eat food that contain the needed supplement or the needed nutrient for the body, like the vitamin A food, you need to be taking them frequently. Carrots and stuff, the eggs, and then the meat is good for the eye. Some of this food help the eye to be stronger, or it make the eye to be more healthier. And the healthy eye will give you a better vision. So we need to be checking the food that we have been eating. Let's reduce the intake of fatty food, sugar food, and salty food. Oily food, let's reduce the intake and shift or increase the intake of raw food like uncooked ones. It will help for the eye to get some of these needed nutrients for its growth. Along the side, we should also pray to God, and God will help us to restore our vision so that we get better vision, for clear seeing things after. God bless us.
Thank you so much, brother, for joining us this afternoon discussing the topic, the retinal detachment of the eye, which now our viewers and listeners have really understood what they have to do, the causes of it, signs and symptoms, the risk factors, and how they can prevent themselves from Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it was just I don't know how to put it, but it was something beyond my control. Suddenly went off, but I'm back again, so pardon me for that. Brother George Akon says, "Good work done." Good work done, Senior Adesro. Thank you so much, Mr. Soro, for what you have been able to giving us this afternoon to fulfill ourselves, to know how we can take good care of our eyes in the future. Um, Awahene says, nice presentation. Good job, hubby. Thank you, Mrs. Awahene, Mrs. Addai Soro, for joining us this afternoon. And to everyone over there, may the good Lord continue to bless all of us as we continue to journey through health issues. Every week, the same time. Sorry, when I started, it was from the beginning. Things haven't been well with me this afternoon, but I'm very sure that you have forgiven me. The same time again, health issues, don't forget, it's 3 to 4. Every week, every Sunday, we are here for you. So I'm very sure that you also prepare yourself to sit with us and listen to the good topics that we are giving to ourselves so that we can improve our lifestyles in order to live a healthy life that will be able to prolong our days even more than what God has given to us. My name is Hanna Bimah, and until then, it is bye-bye for now. Don't forget to join me the same time again from the beginning, which will come on in the 12 minutes time on this platform by another link. So search for us even if you don't have the link from the beginning with Hanna Bimah at Richmo Media. Coming right to your doorsteps. Until the same time again next week, it is bye-bye for now. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless all of us as we continue to do his work through whichever media that we find ourselves in. This afternoon, it was through Richmo Media. So let us enjoy the benefit of the goodness of God's work.
What miłości